Howdy all, Dean Stiller here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead and music news, reporting on JRAD's 10th anniversary shows at the Brooklyn Bowl. It was an emotionally charged and challenging evening for a lot of us last night. As many know, the community lost a bright and shining star when our dear friend Robin got her wings a couple nights ago. A lot of us were devastated. Robin was part of my inner circle. My kids knew her. She spent time with my family and I, and just a wonderful. To say that she is an amazing human being is an incredible understatement. Robin was just. She was everything you'd want from a friend and somebody that you'd spend time with. My heart goes out to everyone in the community that mourns this loss. First and foremost, my brother Anthony. I love you forever, man. This is going to be tough. So I'm here for you for the long haul, and I love you guys forever. This was a tough one. So I want to give a big thanks to Peter Shapiro, who was a difficult situation. Robin was supposed to be here, and so she had some tickets for others and whatever. It just was a sloppy situation. Peter Shapiro helped every way he could. That's what he does. He's a helper. I've dealt with a lot of people in the music business, and they're not all very pleasant or wonderful to deal with, but Shapiro is just a helper. He's always helping, and so I couldn't thank you enough for everything you did to make this really rough time a lot easier. I love you, Shap. You the man, and I love you forever. Let's get to the show here. They get the thing started. You get Tennessee Jed. Tennessee Jed gets started. Everybody knows what I think about Tennessee Jed. It's a song about essentially nothing. But every song doesn't have to be deep. I know that people will sit there and sing Tennessee Jed, making the faces like something incredibly deep is going on, when in all actuality nothing really is. I don't know, maybe for somebody it is. Every song doesn't have to be incredibly deep. Some of them can just be fun, and this one's fun. As a guy and his dog are having a conversation, that's fun. Anyway, you can't really just name songs on a JRAD show, because they can take a very regular looking song and make it an incredibly irregular experience. They can spin some of this stuff up in ways you never thought of before, and an incredible job getting through this. Till the Morning Comes was next, a tune I love. In my tenure with the Grateful Dead, that one didn't get any play. A song that I love. It was great to hear. They did a wonderful job with that. Then the moment of the night, here we go, as they're setting up for a special guest, and out walks Weir. So holy shit, fucking Yoda's here. This is the kind of shit that Shapiro can pull off. It's what makes him the man. Here out comes Weir. I'm thinking, I gotta admit, initially I'm thinking to myself, oh, please don't slow this band down now. And as JRAD, they went about their business appropriately. I was there on the side rail. I could have reached out and touched Bob if I wanted his security guy to break my arm. So I wouldn't do that. I just was happy to see him there. He had a nice tan, been in Mexico for a few weeks. He looked rejuvenated and refreshed. His britches fit him properly, which is always nice. It was a great moment. The place went nuts, went bananas. You get jackstraw, and music never stopped with Weir. So he hadn't dealt with that furious of a pace in a long time. JRAD was killing it. 2 songs, that was it. He would probably, by the time JRAD finished Let It Grow, Weir was probably asleep already. He was probably exhausted from the pace of those 2 songs. There you go. Listen, when you're a guy like Trey, and Trey is a Jedi, right? So, but Trey got to do a whole tour with Goose to give him the seal of approval. So when you're Yoda, 2 songs, that's it. You can do 2 songs, go back to sleep. You got the seal of approval from Yoda. Everything's good. It was amazing to see Weir there last night. It made me incredibly happy. Great job. And Let It Grow closed the set. So there you go, that was the first set. A lot of wonderful moments throughout. The second set gets started, you get Shakedown. Shakedown, they had some moments that they made it funky, they made it everything you'd want it to be and some more. Great jams with that. Truckin' took all kinds of crazy turns. And then Viola Lee for me was that was a real hot spot there in the middle of the second set. JRAD, they can marry songs that you know and love into other songs that you know and love seamlessly, and a lot of times it's a relationship you never knew could exist before, and then when they play it you'll think, that's so natural, how did that never take place before? Like the China Cat licks in the Viola Lee. Mayer played around with that a little bit last summer, and that was interesting, but as the way they dropped the China Cat licks on the viola was unbelievable. Some really incredible stuff happening there. That's well worth hearing. That's a great jam. Althea's next. Althea, they're playing Althea, and I'm thinking to myself, like, holy shit, like these relationships between songs that I talked about, now there's sometimes relationships between other bands and stuff. Althea, they start rocking the jam in Althea, and I swear at one point it seemed like it was a Black Sabbath song. So I'm like, man, Ozzy could have covered this one. Never saw that coming, tore it up. Absolutely killed it. 10 Years Gone, a great Zeppelin cover for him to do after Althea, because there it is, 10 years gone since this band started. That goes into the other one, which was actually Furious. I believe it was right around this time that Stuart Bogey came out, and he just slayed it. He was amazing. Once again, right next to me there, and he was killing it, man, on the sax. It was great to have him there. The other one, Spun Around, was crazy and furious. You hear so many things, and how many more times by Zeppelin after that? Within that, you just seem to hear so much stuff. There's so many familiar licks that these guys put into their music. And then Breathe, Pink Floyd, and I'm thinking, holy cow. And then if I'm not mistaken, Tom might have sang Time during Breathe. I'm not sure. Sometimes in the moment, you know, things can get crazy, and I was certainly having that kind of time. That's how it seemed to me. You got some Breathe, might even sang some verses from Time in there, and that turns into Terrapin. Terrapin, listen, they get to jamming on Terrapin, and I swear to God, it's like Iron Maiden Terrapin. It's when they got two guys that are great guitarists, two guys that can play great lead. You got Tom and Scott, and both of them can kill it, and they're jamming on Terrapin. This is like the fucking Scorpions or Iron Maiden doing Terrapin. I thought to myself, back in the 80s and 90s, when we were on Grateful Dead tour and we were coming home with Product and Dose and Metalheads, this is what probably was supposed to happen back then. This is what you'd expect to happen when you dosed a bunch of metalheads. You should have got something like JRAD, I imagine, but I guess it just took a couple decades for JRAD to grow into this and do their thing, and wow, what a thing it is. You know, the Grateful Dead, they always said they're not the best at what they do, they're the only ones at what they do, and that really applies to JRAD. When it comes to interpreting the songbook of the Grateful Dead, they're not the best at what they do. They might be, but they're the only ones at what they do. Nobody does it like them. They have given this thing a really fresh feel that, to me, this is the best musical product on the market as far as Grateful Dead music being presented is concerned. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely for me. I absolutely love this band. My favorite take on Grateful Dead music that exists right now. You get Tom Thumb's Blues as an encore. So there's something about like Grateful Dead, the Grateful Dead, and Dead-related things. And I guess O'Teal broke the mold on that. But bassists, they're always singing, and I'm not sure they should. Dave takes Tom Thumb Blues as the encore. He's the best, man. He gets the loudest ovation most of the time when they announce the members of the band. A great guy, a great bass player. This is a fun band. Joe had his words to say about you know, this experience and what the past 10 years has been like, and it was just great to be a part of that. It's in the midst of so much stuff going on in a lot of our lives under that roof. There were moments that brought us to complete and total tears. There were moments that brought us ecstasy, and that's really the musical experience. And then something as heavy as what we were going through, when you have that many intense emotions that all get experienced over a very short period of time, relatively speaking. It just really, it blows your mind, and it helps you heal and deal, and I couldn't be happier that I was part of it. It's exactly what I needed last night, and grateful to be there celebrating with all of you. And what was a very difficult time for a lot, but a reason to celebrate nonetheless. And so there you go, JRAD's 10th anniversary at the Bowl. 3 more they got coming at you at the Cap. Those will be outstanding, I'm sure. So enjoy them. Maybe I'll make it to 1 or 2 of them. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll report. I'm not sure about that either. I wanted to get some reports out on Mexico. I did watch those, take in at least the last 2. And I was going to do reports. Too much shit happened here around the house with it's a busy life. Maybe I'll do that over the weekend if I have time. But for now, I love you forever, and we'll see you soon.